The Merchant of Venice, Act 1, Scene 1. Antonio, really, I don't know why I'm so sad. It wearies me. You say it wearies you. But how I got it, found it, or came by it, what it's made of, where it started, I must find out. And sadness makes me so crazy that I don't know who I am. Salarino, you are worried about your ships. Your mind is out there getting tossed around on the ocean with them. But they are fine. They are like huge parade floats on the sea. They are so big they look down on the smaller ships, which all have to go and then get out of the way. Your ships fly like birds past those little boats. Salanio, believe me, sir, if I had such venture out there, the better part of my thoughts would be with my hope of their safe arrival. I'd be still plucking the grass to know where the wind blows, looking over maps for ports and piers and roads, and every object that would make me afraid of misfortune to my ships would make me sad without a doubt. Salarino, I'd get scared every time I blew on my soup to cool it, thinking of how a strong wind could wipe out my ships. Every time I glanced at the sand in an hourglass, I'd imagine my ships rigged on sandbars. I'd think of dangerous rocks every time I went to church and saw the stones it was made of. If my ship brushed up against rocks like that, its whole cargo of spices would be dumped into the sea. All of its silk shipments would be sent flying into the roaring waters. In one moment, I'd go bankrupt. Who wouldn't get sad thinking about things like that? It's obvious. Antonio is sad because he is so worried about his cargo. Antonio, believe me, no, I thank my fortune for it. My cargoes are not all loaded on one ship or going to one place, and my whole estate is not based on the fortune of this present year. So, my shipments don't make me sad. Salanio, then you must be in love. Antonio, nonsense, nonsense. Salanio, not in love either. Then let's say you are sad because you are not happy, and it's easy to say that because you laugh and leave and say you are happy because you are not sad. Now, looking at both sides, nature has made strange fellows in her time, some that will peep through their eyes forever, and laugh like parrots at a bagpiper, and the others of such sour disposition that they'll never smile. Old or wise old man swears that the joke is funny. Here comes Bassanio, your most noble relative, Crescendo, and Lorenzo. Goodbye. We leave you now in better company. Salarino, I would have stayed to cheer you up if your nobler friends hadn't shown up. Antonio, you are both very precious to me. But I understand. You need to leave to take care of your own business. Salarino, good morning. Gentlemen, Bassanio, hello. Friends. When are we going to have fun together again? Just name the time. We never see you anymore. Does it have to be that way? Salarino, let us know when you want to get together. We are available. Lorenzo. Bassanio, we'll say goodbye for now, since you have found Antonio. But don't forget, we are meeting for dinner tonight. Bassanio. Don't worry, I'll be there. Crescendo. You don't look well, Antonio. You are taking things too seriously. People with too much invested in the world always get hurt. I'm telling you, you don't look like yourself. Antonio, I only think of the world as the world. Crescendo, a stage, where every man must play a part, and my part is a sad one. Crescendo, let me play the fool. Let old wrinkles come with happiness and laughter, and let my liver get hot with wine rather than my heart turns cold with depressing groans. Why should a man who's hot-blooded sit like a statue of his grandfather, sleeping when he is awake, and creeping into jaundice by being spiteful. I tell you what, Antonio, you are my friend, and it's my friendship that speaks. There is a kind of men whose faces look foamy and covered like a standing pond, and who maintain a stubborn silence, so that people will think they have wisdom, seriousness, profound ideas, such as saying, I am a fortune teller, and when I open my lips, don't let any dog bark. Oh, my Antonio, I know about these men that are only considered wise because they say nothing. When, I am very sure, if they should speak, they would almost damn those ears which, hearing them, would call their brothers fools. I'll tell you more about this another time. But don't fish for this. Foolish, worthless guppy, this opinion of mine, with this depressing bait. Come, good. Lorenzo. Goodbye until later. I'll end my speech after dinner. Lorenzo. All right. We'll see you at dinner time. I must be one of these silent so called wise men Grasciano's talking about. Because he never lets me get a word in. Grasciano. If you hang around me for 2 more years, you'll forget the sound of your own voice. I won't ever let you speak. Antonio. Goodbye. After that lecture of yours, I'll start talking a lot. Grashato. Thank you. The only tongues that should be silent are Austin's on the dinner plate and those that belong to old maids. Antonio, is that anything to think about now? Bassanio, Grasciano speaks an infinite deal about nothing, more than any man in all Venice. His reasons are like 2 grains of wheat hidden in 2 bushels of corn husks. You can look all day before you find them, and when you found that small quantity, you have got us not worth. Antonio. So, who's this girl? The one you said you were going to take a special trip for. You promised to tell me. Bassanio, you know, Antonio, how much I have wasted my money by putting on a fancier appearance than my small funds could support. I don't come to you now to ask that you forgive my debts, because my chief concern is to make good on these great debts which my behavior, sometimes reckless and wasteful, has left me broke. To you, Antonio, I owe the most, in money and in friendship. And, from your friendship, I have a guarantee to get rid of all my plots and intentions as to how to get clear all the debts I owe. Antonio, please let me know your plan, Bassanio. As long as it's honorable, you can be sure that I'll let you use all my money and do everything I can to help you. Bassanio, when I was in school, when I had lost one arrow, I shot another one of identical length in an identical way, with more thoughtful care, to find the one I lost, and by risking both, I often found both. I'm telling you about this childhood event, because I say next is as pure and innocent. I owe you a lot, and, like the willful youth, I have lost what I owe you. But if you will please lend me money in the identical way that you lent me the first money, I don't doubt, as I'll be more careful, to find both sums, or I'll bring your second loan back again and just owe you thankfully for the first. Antonio, you know me better than that. You are wasting your breath. All of this talk means you have doubts about my friendship. That's worse than if you bankrupted me. Just tell me what to do, and I'll do it. Tell me. Bassanio, in Belmont, there is a rich heiress, and she is beautiful and, more beautiful than that word, she has wonderful virtues. Sometimes, I receive beautiful, silent messages from her eyes. Her name is Portia. The poet's daughter and the assassin's Portia fall short by comparison. The wide world is not ignorant of her worth. because the four winds blow in famous men who want to marry her from every coast, and her golden curls hang on her head like a golden fleece, which makes Vilmont her home, a rich island in the lake, and many sailors and heroes come to find her. Oh, my Antonio, if I only had the means to compete with one of them. I have a mind that predicts such good luck for me that I will undoubtedly be a very lucky one. Antonio, you know right now all my money is tied up in that cargo that's still at sea. I can't give you the cash you need because I don't have it. But go ahead and charge things to me on credit, as much credit as I can get in Venice. I'll use all my lines of credit to help you get to Belmont, to Portia. Go see who will lend money, and I'll do the same. I'm sure I can get something either as a business loan or as a personal favor. For Hindi summary, wait for very little. Coming soon at Shri Digital Basic Maths.